Om Sri Sai Ram. Love is the only power. Love is the only way. Love sweetens every hour. Love, have a lovely day. Love is the silent flower. Love is the child that plays. Love is the love of Sai. Love fill the world today. Om Sri Sai Ram. Uttam Sadhana, the best and the highest spiritual endeavor. What else it could be? There are many learned scholars, realized souls who have given innumerable ways to realize divinity. Most of them insist on meditation, japa, tapa, dhyana, whatever. They all are paths to realization. But Swami says realization of what? Fundamental discrimination. Swami always talks about that. Realization of what? Self-realization. Two-thirds of spiritual effort is self-inquiry. Every spiritual sadhana begins with self-inquiry. Who am I? Am I this body? Am I this mind? My mind, my body, my intelligence, what belongs to me cannot be me. Swami has made it so simple. Fundamental discrimination. But then the big question remains again, who am I? Swami as God can say, I am I. Verbally we may also quote Swami, like one boy, Swami asked, who are you? He said, Swami, Shivoham, 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 Shiva. I am Shiva. Swami said, then who is Parvati Amma to you? He got shock of his life. Next boy says, Swami, I am you. You and I are one. Manchiri. Then go and give darshan. Every seed has to blossom into the fruit or flower to be offered at the lotus feet of God, is it not? Do we offer a seed to God because it contains the fruit and the flower? It has to manifest. It has to blossom into that. We cannot even eat the seed just because it contains all the fruits. The big tree of mango, it is manifested by the seed, but we cannot eat the seed. It has to blossom. Realization is blossoming of seed into a tree with fruits and flowers. It is a spiritual blossoming from body consciousness to the mind consciousness to the intellectual consciousness to the highest consciousness. God is neither distinct nor distant from us. Swami says, your own highest, noblest, purest, truest self is God. But how to realize it? What path to follow? It is easy to say. This avatar in this Kali age has given the royal road. That is why many sages have written Kali age is the best age to be born in. Because here we don't have to do any tapas. Our mind are not programmed to do tapas or sacrifice or sadhanas. Once I remember I was present in Purnachandra. There was a conference, All India conference of probably Balvikas Gurus or Sevadal. I don't remember exactly. In 80s. Sri Indulal Shahji was always advocating meditation. He wanted to bring meditation as part of our daily bhajans at Sai centers. So he, in his opening talk, he suggested that Swami may, in his own divine wisdom, may tell us the benefits of meditation and the process of meditation and all. I mean, it was Swami's discourse, divine discourse. This avatar always touches the fundamental issue. He hits the nail on his head. Swami said, he named him. Indulal Shah has now suggested, advocated for meditation. But let me ask you, what are you going to meditate with? You say you are going to meditate upon God, upon divinity, whatever. But what is the instrument to meditate upon God, on divinity? You are going to meditate with the help of your mind, isn't it? Meditating with help of your mind is as good as trying to catch the thief with the help of the thief himself. Mind is the thief, he is the culprit. He will take you everywhere and anywhere. He will appear to be so helpful, so kind. You will feel, wow, my mind has become so calm, so peaceful. My mind is in my control nowadays. Whatever I decide, my mind obeys. Whatever. But he is a very smart thief. He will take you to every lane, every person. He will even take you to the police station to make a complaint. But he will never take you to himself. Because if the thief takes you to his own house, then he is caught. And the purpose of entire spiritual sadhana is ahamkara. Ahamkara means, Swami says, aham akara. You have to let go this feeling that I am akara, this body consciousness. Mind by itself does not exist. It is bundle of desires, of thoughts. It is like Swami says, it is like this kerchief. You remove every thread out of it, the kerchief disappears. So what is the way out? We cannot meditate without help of mind, and we must not meditate with help of mind. That is why Swami used to say, when people meditate and in between they will say, look at the kitchen, or they will close the windows and they will close themselves in room, thinking that they are doing very great sadhana. Yes, it is. Swami says it is a good exercise to control your senses, to focus your mind. It is very good. But it will not take you to that. It cannot. With the fork and knife in your hands, you can hold any dish on your table. But you cannot hold your hands with the help of that fork and that knife. And that fork and knife is your mind and your intelligence. You can do anything in the worldly affairs. You must. Manava is mana. You have to take help of your mind. We can't be mindless people. But we should not be as possessive of senseless mind and mindless senses again. We have to go beyond mind. And who can take us beyond mind? Obviously, the mind cannot. Here is the divine revelation. Here is the purpose of this creation. Here is the purpose of this avatar. Prajnanam Brahma, awareness is God. We don't have to achieve anything. There is no goalpost. Actually, Swami says there is no journey. There is no destination. You don't have to just trouble yourself by all sort of things, believing that it will take you somewhere, as if God is, or spiritual blossoming is somewhere at some stage, this chakra, that chakra. This is good exercise for your mind and your intelligence, but it cannot take you beyond that. Pragyanam Brahma, awareness is God. And who can bring about the awareness? Only the light of God can bring about that awareness. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. That effulgence. And what is that effulgence? Love is that effulgence of God, that light of God. As sun rays and sun are inseparable, so also love and God are inseparable. God is love, love is God. They are inseparable. That love alone can bring the awareness. And that is the purpose of all the creation, of all the sadhana. Once we become aware, realization means awareness. I am that. All this belongs to me. We all are essentially and equally divine. This body, this mind, this intelligence, this heart, feelings, everything is the instrument to play our role play as humans. We are given this human body, human mind, human intelligence, human emotions to play our assigned role play. He has provided us. Whatever else we may claim or may not claim to be, can any one of us deny that we all are humans? That is why Swami insists on human values, because Swami says, as gold without golden values is unthinkable, so also a human without human value is unacceptable. And what are those 5 human values? Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa. Truth, righteousness, love, peace and non-violence. Here Swami gives the key. The importance of love. Love in thought is peace. Love in feelings is non-violence. Love in words is truth. Love in action is righteousness. Love is the undercurrent of all the human values, of all the divine attributes of this human birth. But for love to be selfless and fearless, it has to be universal and limitless. We can't be playing, as I often say, that frog in the well syndrome. Yes, we can begin. The seed begins. The seed begins its journey from blossoming into a small plant, then tender plant, then it grows slowly with few leaves, then it grows. Then we have to protect it, manure it, water it, till it blossoms into a big, huge tree. This is a process, but it has to blossom. Begin with self-love. I even recommend, and I practice. People say we identify ourselves with this body. We cannot come out of it because in our day-to-day dealings of affairs, everybody calls us by our name, identifying us with this body. Even Swami says, when somebody Ramaya, Krishnaya, then that person will get up and say, yes, this is me. So love self means love your body self first. Love your mind self. Love your intelligent self, step by step. And I have experimented, my dear brothers and sisters. When we start loving our own body self, we can heal our all bodily diseases only with our human touch, with human love to our own self. Many of us are very body conscious. We go to beauty parlors, we do this and that, whatever, bodybuildings. Nowadays it is even elderly people now, they cannot afford to go without any makeup or anything. Even the public servants or ministers, they come out without makeup, they can't. Body consciousness, yes, good. Swami says, love your body self. And when you love any entity, will you do anything which will displease or harm that entity? When I say that I love you, does it not mean that I am ready to do whatever pleases you? At least I will not do anything that may displease or harm or hurt you. That is the meaning, true meaning of telling that I love you. So when I say I love my body, then I should not do anything which may harm or hurt my body. As simple as that. Do we follow this? Do we eat, breathe and drink whatever is actually good for our body? If we truly love our body. Because this is the only instrument that remains with us till our death. We may lose anything else. We may lose our mind also. People may lose their intelligence also. This body remains with us till end. Do we take that care that we should not eat, drink anything, should not dump anything inside it that may even remotely harm it or hurt it? Next, love your mind self. When we love our own mind, will we allow our mind to entertain any negativity, any harmful, violent, hateful emotions? Will we? No ways. Will we allow any grudge, any feeling of taking revenge, all the negativity to remain within our minds? No, we'll throw it away, because that is not good for the health of our mind. Hatred hardens our hearts and darkens our minds. Is it not? Love lightens our hearts and enlightens our minds. If we truly love our emotions, our heart, our feelings, we will not entertain any negativity even for a moment. Swami says, if you by mistake pick up something which you feel it is just a rubber, and when you hold it and you feel, oh, it is a snake, will you leave it inch by inch? Just throw it away. Same way, the feeling of hatred or jealousy or revenge or even fear. Fear freezes our hearts and diseases our minds. Faith brightens our hearts, lightens our minds. We have to entertain the divine qualities of faith and love, not fear and hatred. That is true love. If we truly love our body self, our mind self, our emotion self, our intellectual self, will we think and do anything with our mind, with our intelligence, which will harm it? No ways. If we truly love it. And the power of love is such, it can transform even a criminal into a sage, that we have seen many a times. But how to love? $1 million questions. Actually speaking, in this Kali age, the humanity has forgotten to love. What we call love is anything else but love. In this situation, man's extremity, they say, is God's opportunity. That is why the avatar, the incarnation of love, has come down. Swami told R.K. Karanjia, in this avatar, I am going to bring about the transformation only through the weapon of my love, power of my love. Because if I start killing Ravanas and Kansas, nobody will be spared. Every mind has Ravana Buddhi and Kansa Buddhi operating in this Kali age. The maker of our mind knows. We can't hide things from him. We can't bluff around at least this God. No ways. He knows. We may pretend to be what we pretend to be, but he knows. He says, I know the innermost secrets of your hearts and minds. So he has come to transform us, to uplift us, not only transform. He says, I will even uplift you. This avatar has come with the greatest mission ever. He is going to uplift our mind to the next level of human awareness, where we will see the unity in diversity with our own open eyes. Then we don't have to go within. Many people misunderstand dive deep or go inside, close your eyes. It doesn't dive deep means what? Inside it is darkness. What if I close my eyes? I will not see anything. Unless I am realized. Go inside means go to the depth of your process of thinking, of discrimination. What Swami calls fundamental discrimination in every situation. Then we will come to know, first common sense, next divine sense. We will come to know that we cannot be this body. This body belongs to us. We cannot be this mind. This mind is a mad monkey changing every time. Then who am I? I am I. To go there, to blossom into that, we need the awareness, and awareness can come only with light of God. How can we be aware of anything without light around us? In darkness, we cannot find our own keys from our own cupboard, from our own drawer. We'll stumble upon so many things to reach our own cupboard in our own house, knowing that we have kept the keys there. It is only the light. What we behave like that old lady who lost her coin inside the hut and started searching it outside because she thought in her wisdom that there is at least light outside. There's a government lamp. Inside she had no connection. Even if we don't have connection, if we just go put our hands around in darkness, at least she could have found the coin. But the problem was her small hut was stuffed with so many things that it is next to impossible to even search for that small coin. Same way, we have stuffed our minds, our thoughts, is so much of garbage. Let go, let God. We have to first clean it. Swami said in that discourse of Hindu Lalsha and World Conference that in this age, the bhajan is the only way to clean your hearts and minds. First clean it. But for cleaning also you have to sing His glory. That is the beginning. Clean it. Even if you put on the light, bring a torch or lamp to search for the coin in that hut, if it is stuffed with so much of unwanted garbage and everything, baggage, you have to first remove everything to even show that light, isn't it? And the first beginning is singing His glory. Sing His glory with love. Prema mudita manase kaho. Even the name of Rama will be effective when you sing it with prema mudita manase. If unless you saturate your mind with love of God, even the name of Rama will not save you. You have to say it with love. So we have to first develop love. But how to develop love? I will give two instances. One of some students, Kamal Sahani, and another one, C. Srinivasan, I believe, they came to Mumbai to give a talk. There was a conference on health education door to door and education workshops for industries, 1980s. I was part of that. So Mr. Kamal Sahani, a beautiful orator, he gave this talk. He said Swami has given this formula, how to love. He said whenever there is any misunderstanding, we are not able to love each other or everyone because there is always a clash of ego, blame game going on between two individuals, between even husband and wife, father and son, daughter and mother, everyone in India and Pakistan, everyone. There are some blame games and we cannot overcome that. Everyone blames each other. If he does like this, then I am ready to love. I am ready to accept. If or she behaves like this, then I am ready to accept. He says, Swami says, then it has become unconditional. It is not an unconditional love. So it cannot be selfless love. It is a conditional love. And love cannot be conditional. It can be anything else but not love. Love has to be unconditional. Now what to do? Now there is some fault line. There is some blame game going on between two entities. Swami has given beautiful formula. He says, shift the entire blame upon yourself. He says instantly your mind will revolt. He'll say, no ways. I know for sure it's not my fault at all. I can prove it. I can convince anybody it is his fault. Swami says it is a game. Don't declare it to anybody, not even to that person. It is your own individual sadhana. Uttam sadhana, the best sadhana. Shift the entire blame upon yourself. Why? Because if your mind entertains this thought that somebody else is to be blamed for whatever is happening, it is next to impossible to forgive others. We have seen it. Let us be honest. Whereas, if it is found that it is our mistake, the easiest thing on this earth is to forgive our own selves. Is it not? Most difficult thing is to forgive the fault of others, and the most easiest thing is to forgive the fault of our own. If somebody else does even small mistake, we say, being a Sai devotee, being a Sai student, how could you do like that? But when we do the same mistake, we say, it happens, it happens. Sometimes it happens one night, but take it seriously. So shift the entire blame. And this is another key he said. Don't say, okay, maybe I am 90% wrong, but he also had the 10% fault in him. No. In this game, you shift the entire blame upon yourself, and very next moment, forgive yourself. Don't keep the guilt. What a wonderful God, what a wonderful solution. Now there is a blame game, somebody has done some mistake, some fault line is there. Shift the blame upon yourself, and very next moment, forgive yourself. So where is the blame? Where is the fault? Nothing. So the barrier is gone. And say it in your mind, it is my mistake. I could have behaved differently. It is not his or her fault. It is my mistake. Repeat it. inside your mind. Don't share this sadhana with anybody else. Always keep this sadhana secret and sacred to yourself. Repeat this 10 to 15 minutes minimum every night. Maximum, he told us, for 15 days. And as you grow, that period will come down to even 15 seconds. As you become more and more mature and you understand the things. In the first case, it may take you some days. But there are many issues every day in our lives where we come across some situations, some people where there is no way that we can forgive that person. Love gives and forgives. Let go, let God. But it is not here forgiveness also. You are not forgiving him because again the ego comes that okay, he has done the mistake, I'll forgive him. Because we want to take that ego. Where there is ego, I go. Swami is wonderful God. So it is first stage not even forgiveness. You are not going to forgive others. What authority we have to forgive others? Take the blame upon yourself and forgive yourself. Don't feel guilty about anything. Guilty minds cannot be loveful minds. No guilt, no fear. Remain true and pure without any guilt, without any fear. And then start loving that person in your mind. Because now you have taken the blame upon yourself and you have forgiven yourself. Where is the problem in loving that person? I love you, I love you. Tell it. Say it loudly in your mind. Or if you can do it loudly, closing your room, say that I love you, I love you, I love this person, I love this person. Initially, it may take 15 days. Next, I will give 2 instances on this miracle. Once in 1980s, I was in charge of the main security at Eastern Gate. Those days, there was no Prashanti service or anything of that sort. It was late 70s or early 80s. I think late 70s, 78, 79. Yeah. So I would stay there for 2-3 months, and during summer there will be no volunteers. Sometimes even Mr. Kheldas will go to Hyderabad, main volunteer. So I was made in charge. Mr. Kutumrao sir told me to take charge of the Eastern Gate. So I was the person who will decide there was no token system, of course. So those days, Swami's normal practice would be that he will take few people for interview, and after the interview is over, most of the time he would come for what we call the second round. The interview may take half an hour, 45 minutes, even 1 hour or beyond those days. Swami would take big groups. Swami came for darshan. He selected few people for the interview. And Swami, as he entered his interview room, in spite of our announcement, few youth started jumping from 6th or 7th row to occupy front rows. And immediately everybody rushed. And there was this tall, well-built, hefty German devotee. Those days hardly any foreigners. So we knew that he was from Germany, and he just put his foot forward from 6th row to front row. I was trying to control the crowd. I mean, I saw this gentleman, so I just caught hold of his collar like from behind and tried to pull him back. He did like this as a reflex action, and I fell down on the ground. Now, I being the main volunteer, you can imagine, with my scarf, and we all know what big egos we volunteers have when we are given any responsibility of controlling the crowd. For those moments, we feel we are next to Satya Sai Baba. That's it. I immediately got up. And I just wanted to go and just throw him out of it. and see to it that he doesn't come inside. But that very moment, Swami came out from his interview room in between. Unusual. He came out, stood on the portico in the center arch near that. Naturally, everybody sat down wherever he was. And I sat down with my folded hands, though there was so much anger or hurt inside me. But as soon as Swami stood in front and such unusual darshan, blissful darshan, he looked at me directly with big eyes. A faithful wife, a faithful dog, a faithful servant understand the body language of their master. I knew Swami is not happy with my line of thinking. So I folded my hands and said, Swami, I am sorry. As soon as I said, Swami, I am sorry, Swami smiled, turned back and went inside his interview room. Now I started introspecting because I had learned this lesson of love. I started thinking, shift the whole blame. I was getting angry and agitated because my ego was hurt. I was not hurt, though I fell down. It was a sand, nothing. I got up. But my ego was hurt that being a Seva volunteer, how could he do like that? But after Swami's this message, I shifted the entire blame upon myself. This devotee is from German. I saw him first time in the morning. He doesn't know the local languages, neither Telugu nor Hindi nor English. And he was not the first to jump over. When the crowd started jumping as a reaction, psychological reaction, he also wanted to go in the front because he must have he is coming from such far off country, maybe for a few days. He must be having some problem wanting to give letter to Swami. How can he miss a chance? So it is not his mistake. My ego was hurt and he did not look at me and did like this. It was just a reflex action. I pulled him from the back. As soon as I started shifting the entire blame, I actually realized, first I shifted just like that. But then I actually realized, yes, it is my mistake, 100%. Then I sought Swami's forgiveness. And I started loving this gentleman who was sitting in the front. In my mind. And as soon as Mangal Arati was over and Swami left, he went up to his room. Those days Swami used to stay up in his mandir. The door was closed. This gentleman again went for the meditation. Foreigners were allowed. And I had my duty. So I also sat for meditation, leaning against the tree. And when the meditation was over, I was in such blissful, peaceful mood. I said, thank you, Swami. Because I was going to take a very hasty and very negative step. I would complain to Kutumrao sir. And in the rule, ashram rule means once I complain to Kutumrao sir against any devotee, that reaction would be very... I said, Swami, thank you for saving me in doing that. Of course, your will is supreme. Nobody can do anything without your sankalpa. Please forgive me, Swami. I love you, this person. And I started loving him again and again. And when I got up, everything was over. I just went to my room. And then, after having my bath and everything, I went to the canteen for my dinner. When I entered the canteen and sat for my dinner, This gentleman, along with another gentleman, a foreigner, he came rushing, like running, oh brother, I'm searching for you. Where are you? And the other person was trying to translate. I'm sorry, you are Seva. Seva, I hit you. No, Swami is not happy with me. Please forgive me. And the other person was translating that he is seeking your forgiveness. He is not able to meditate. He is feeling that Swami is not happy with him because he did like this to me without looking back. And he did not follow the discipline. So please forgive. I said, nothing, brother. It was my mistake and now it is over. I realize, and so now it's okay. You be happy. No. If you don't forgive, I don't take my dinner. Look at this beautiful God. I did not go and tell him sorry. I did not go and tell him that I love you. Nothing. It was just heart to heart with Swami. And Swami not only transformed me, Swami transformed him also in his meditation. He was searching for me. And then he half hugged me and then we both said Sai Ram. This is the beauty of his love. Think with love. Feel with love. Speak with love. When we think with love, I have experimented million times. There will be smile on your face. Any situation, any person. Even the most negative person whom you feel you just can't love him. At least in your mind you can love him. For one moment, think with love about that situation, that person. There will be smile on your face. Love has that power. Act with love, react with love. It is easy to act with love sometimes. When you go for Seva, for example, even the most, I think, negative person, if he comes for Seva to a hospital or any remand home, they will say lovingly, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. We act with love. But the more difficult task is to react with love. I'll give one small instance on this. Again, late 70s, we used to go to Central Hospital in Ulhasnagar as Sevadal every Sunday. I had started taking this Seva. I was the youngest Sevadal convener. And the practice was, some of our Samiti elderly persons will come. They will take biscuits or fruits and vibhuti and they'll give it to all the patients, all TB ward patients. Nobody would sit with them. Even the doctors would not go near. It was so stingy those days, the hospital. Impossible to even enter that ward. But I would go and sit with the patient, talk to them, hold their hands and give them Swami's love. Not my love, Swami's love. We don't have that love. We have to borrow that love from Swami. And for that alone, we have to love him first, to borrow his love from him and spread and radiate his love. So that was my practice and I was doing that. And one gentleman, I remember, Mr. Bhatia, his job was to apply vibhuti on each, but because there were TB people and very bad smell and unbearable, he would just from a distance put Sai Ram and go next, like that, like a ritual. So it seems, I was sitting on the opposite side, it seems that when he put vibhuti on somebody, the patient was sleeping and he put vibhuti on his forehead saying Sai Ram as a routine, as a ritual. That person got up with anger. He said, what this Sai Ram, who wants this vibhuti and all that. He started speaking in English. So this uncle also got angry. He was an old gentleman, young gentleman, angry gentleman. So I immediately rushed there. I said, uncle, you please leave this to me. I will handle it. You please go. So he went. Then I saw there was a cross. In a black thread, some cross was there. So I realized maybe he's a Christian and he's feeling offended because he was telling him Sai Ram. So I said, sorry brother, he did not know that you are a Christian. So he said, what Christian, what Christ, what cross, what Sai Ram? What I have to do with all? We are not getting anything to eat. We don't get any nourishment. And what will do with this vibhuti? We are TB patients. We need solid food. I said, brother, I believe that according to government rules, you must be getting breakfast, milk, lunch, everything. What breakfast? Nothing. What milk? What egg? Nothing. 11 o'clock, they will come and give 2 chapatis and dal. Evening 6 o'clock, again 2 chapatis and dal. That's it. I was shocked. I immediately called meeting of all my Sevadal brothers. We gathered in our Sai Nilayam and we decided that from next day we shall give bread, butter, jam and milk to each and every patient till the hospital authorities realize their blunder, their mistake. And we do it silently, will not go to any press. Though I was very influential, I could do many things. I said, no, this is not Sai discipline. We will do our Seva silently. Let Swami decide. And we started doing that. Love and continue to love till all is well, and be sure all shall be well. We continued for more than a week or 10 days till the authorities realized. And the superintendent came and said, Thakur sir, please. Now we got all the sanctions and we will give breakfast and everything. Please discontinue. But in between, by this reaction with love, the miracle happened. Unbelievable, incredible. After 3 or 4 days of this seva, one day, in the morning we used to go with milk and in the evening fruit and milk again. So morning when we went, this gentleman, this Christian, he just called me. He said, brother, please come here. Everybody had left because they had to go for their business. All Sevadal brothers, they left. He called me, brother, come here. Sit down. I want to share something with you which I cannot share with everybody. I said, what happened? Any problem? He said, no. Since you have come and started giving us so many things with love and talking to us with love, my heart has changed. First, I never used to pray to God. Now I look at the photograph on the opposite wall of your Sai Baba. Your Sai Baba. Now I can tell my Sai Baba also. I said, but what happened? I got interested. What happened? He said, yesterday evening when you came, you gave us fruits. And I was meditating because you taught us so many good things. So I was just closing my eyes and trying to recollect those, your bhajans and your talk. I was such blissful mood. So when 6 o'clock these people came with their thali and this dal and chapati, I could hear that the trolley has come, they stand at the gate, and then we had to pick up our plate and go there and collect it. But I was not in that mood to break that blissful vision that I was getting. I was in some other world. So I thought, let go. So this person went and I was in that mood, divine mood. But after 1 or 2 hours, when I opened my eyes, I saw everybody is sleeping. Lights are off. So then I realized, hey, I am hungry. I had not taken my food. So I just coolly picked up my plate and went to the kitchen to see if there's something is left. They said, it's too late. Now we have washed off everything. Now why you did not come? And the beauty is, I am such an angry person. You have seen my anger. I did not react with that anger. I said, okay, brother, no problem. Smilingly, I came back and sat on my bed. And I looked at this photograph of your Baba, now my Baba too. I said, okay, Baba, now if you want me to sleep without food, no problem. I'll take my lunch tomorrow morning. Your boys will come and they'll give me milk, whatever. I'll sleep. So I slept off. At midnight, I found somebody sitting on my bed. I realized. I opened my eyes and I saw your Baba sitting on my bed. I could not believe my eyes, the halo around him, the beauty. I thought I'm dreaming. I don't know. It was a dream or a vision or reality. I don't know. But it was Swami, your Baba, my Baba. He said, today for my sake you did not have dinner, feeling hungry? Don't worry, I'll give you. And then he did like this. And a beautiful plate with wonderful heavenly food It appeared on the plate. And then he started feeding me. And then I had that guts to tell Swami, Baba, how can I take before you? Take one morsel from my hand. And he took it. Then he fed me when I was full. He said, Inka, Imka, anything else you want? I was in bliss. And then everything disappeared as it appeared. But before leaving, he applied this white ash vibhuti that you give us every time. In the morning when I got up, I was thinking maybe it was a dream or a vision. But I was feeling full as if I had taken one beautiful dinner and I could feel what I have taken. So I went to the mirror and look at my face. See that white, still it is there. I had not washed my face today. I wanted to share this with you and show you this. My dear brothers and sisters, there was tears in my eyes, in his eyes. This wonderful God can do anything for love. What sadhana he had done? Or I have done? I always mention this. I don't do any sadhana. I can't. I had to do only one meditation to forget him. He's so much around all the time. You can't miss him. What you have to meditate upon him. Just love him. Be his lover. Let us be lovers of God. There cannot be greater sadhana than this. There cannot be greater self-realization than this. Love will do what it needs to do. Without any role play on our part. Without any effort on our part. The raw love is the royal road. Just love him. Love him in all. You don't have to love him individually. You have to begin with this. But he is universal God. And he is residing and operating through all. This entire creation is manifestation of God. We must know this and realize this. And once you love him, you will actually see it. This entire creation is his manifestation. How can you hate? How can you hurt? Impossible. You have to play your role. First common sense, next divine sense. Rama may kill Ravana for his acts, but Rama would not hate Ravana. Even his killing would give moksha to Ravana if it is done with love. Swami has given me a beautiful poem. First love me, then kill me. Love me before you kill me. I will share that poem once. We have to start the day with love, as Swami says. Start every sadhana with love. Fill the day with love. Fill every sadhana with love. End the day with love. End every sadhana, every spiritual effort with love. At the end of all the meditations, japa, tapa, dhyana, sacrifice, even Swami says love without sacrifice is useless, as sacrifice without love is meaningless. At the end of all the sacrifices, japa, tapa, dhyana, if we cannot love him in all, we cannot serve him in all, if we cannot accept him and respect him in all, then all our sadhana is big zero, 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 zero. Be lovers of God. Love like Shabri, like Meera. Let our faith be enlightened faith. Let our love be enlightened love. Let our devotion be enlightened devotion. It can happen only when we love him truly, selflessly. Lovers are not beggars. Lovers, as I often say, Swami has declared, if you need me, you deserve me. But I say, if you love him, you did not even need him. He anticipates. You don't have to beg anything. When I say I love you, my next question should be, what can I do for you? isn't it? Can I say, I love you? Come on, what can you do for me? Or please do this for me because I love you. Ridiculous. This is what the blunder, Himalayan blunder we do. We love him, Swami, we love you, and next we give him the list of suggestions and prayers to him. We should only tell him, Swami, we love you. What can we do for you? Make us worthy to do something for you. कितने एहसान किए हैं खुदाए सनम, हर जन्म तुमको दे दे तो वो भी है कम. Even if we give every moment of our lives to you, it will not be enough what you have done for us, O Lord. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय जय जय.